So today we're going to talk about side hustles for therapists. Don't stop right there. This is not going to be your standard list of side hustles. I'm not going to tell you to start an online course. I'm not going to tell you to do something that is super far-fetched and super difficult and unachievable. I'm actually going to give you a few suggestions that are super practical that almost any therapist will be able to engage in with a little bit of work. I wanted these items on the list to be something that any therapist could look at, think about, and actually engage in. What are the side hustles? What can I do with my therapy skill set that helps me make extra money while also diversifying what I do? Welcome back. I hope all is well. If you have not been here before, my name is Matt. I'm a therapist in private practice. I own and operate a group practice, and I also make videos just like this to help other therapists start, run, and grow efficient practices. If you haven't done so already, please do go ahead and subscribe down below. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Only if you want to though, there is no pressure. Typically, people are asking for a few reasons. One is they want to make extra income. And number two, they might want to diversify what they do each and every day. So in addition to being an individual therapist or a group therapist, perhaps they want to expand and do other things as well. And a couple things just to say right off the bat. Number one, side hustles take a lot of work. I mean, no side hustle is truly passive. No side hustle is going to be super easy. It might be a little bit of work. It might be a lot of work, but it's all going to take work. And just so you know, this list is on my blog, on my website, MatthewRyanLCSW.com/blog. And in addition, I recently started a consultation group. It's kind of like a community. And if you want to dive deeper into topics like this and others, you can join that community and interact with me directly where I give feedback, I answer questions. There's a lot going on there. So if you want to join that, you can click the link down below in the description. All right, so the first suggestion on this list is immigration evaluations. Now, I won't get into the technical details, but to put it simply, immigration evaluations is typically a one-time deal. So you do one evaluation. It may take several hours, but you only do one. It is not therapy, so you're not doing ongoing work with a client. Then you'll write a fairly lengthy report. It's kind of like an intake assessment or a diagnostic assessment, except it is much longer. It's much more detailed. There's actually trainings you can take to learn how to do immigration evaluations. With a little bit of training and a little bit of reading, any mental health professional will be able to quickly get comfortable with the format of an immigration evaluation. And then you would write up a report. Now, mind you, these reports are quite long. I wrote one a little while ago, and I think it was close to 20 pages. So the immigration evaluation is not going to be quick or easy. However, an immigration evaluation will diversify your practice, and they're also cash pay. A couple things to keep in mind is that the work itself for an immigration evaluation is not the challenging part. It's actually establishing relationships with attorneys who will then give you these types of clients. And if you want to learn more about immigration evaluations, I've linked a few resources down below in the description. And this second one is called an expert witness. I don't know if you've ever seen those courtroom shows or movies where they call in an expert witness to tell you all about a particular topic. Well, yeah, you can actually do that as a licensed mental health professional. And there's actually a service out there called Expert Institute. I know I've never used it myself, but taking a look at their website, it looks quite simple to use. What it looks like is that you would sign into their platform, or you'd sign up, you would state who you are, what you do, what your specialty is, and then they would connect with attorneys and people in law that could then look at your specialty and decide if they need an expert witness that has your specialties. And then you would get contacted to do whatever it is that an expert witness does. Now, I have been contacted about this, but I did not do it. I didn't have the time, nor was it something I was interested in at the time. However, it does look like a pretty cool, unique opportunity. I believe with this platform, you're able to set your own fees, and there's minimal work to actually get connected. I think that's what the platform is there to do, is to connect people. So if you wanted to make a profile and use this as a way to diversify what you do, as well as to make extra income, this could be a viable option. And for anyone who tries it out and actually follows through, I would love to know what it was like and if it worked. You can go ahead and leave a comment down below in this video or email me. Another thing you can do is start an Etsy store. Now, don't click off the video quite yet. I know this sounds just like starting a course, or it might sound really far-fetched for people, but hear me out for a second. If you've ever gone to Etsy, you know, that store where people sell their own crafts and merchandise and things like that, and you type in therapy, you're going to see all sorts of things. You're going to see mugs with quotes on it. You're going to see stickers. You're going to see t-shirts. You're going to see comical things. You're going to see serious things. You're going to see treatment planners. I mean, there are tons of things that people are selling, all related to therapy. One of the things that stands out to me are these funny catchphrases and quotes that people made up, and then they stick them on a t-shirt or a mug and then sell it. So what you can do with Etsy is monetize your creativity. So if you're a therapist in private practice and you have a couple funny quotes that you think are good, or you have some sayings that you think are good, or you've come up with a planner, I mean, anything really, you can actually monetize it on Etsy. What I would encourage you to do is go on Etsy.com, type in therapy, type in therapist, browse what's out there and what's doing well, and see if you can do it yourself. This is just an idea. So for those of you who may be creative or maybe comical or who want to tap into that kind of thing, Etsy might be a place to do that. In my opinion, you can monetize your creativity. Now, I don't want to make this sound simple. Building an online store with Etsy is quite difficult. You still have to think of a product, build a product, sell a product. Now, these things do have to occur. However, this could diversify what you do. And if it goes well, you can make some extra money off your creativity. So give it a try if that's something you're interested in. Another thing you can consider is coaching. Now, there's a whole bunch of talk around therapy versus coaching and what are the differences. I won't get into that in this video, but I recently consulted an attorney to really understand what the differences are. I clearly know there are differences. Therapy and coaching are not the same, all right? One is a licensed profession, one is not. And without going into too much detail, when I spoke to the lawyer, one thing he did mention to me was that coaching, just like I mentioned, is not therapy. It is not a licensed profession. With that being said, it is not regulated. It is not subject to the same laws, rules, and regulations that therapy is. Coaches have a lot more freedom in that regard. Now, you might want to consult an attorney to really understand the nuanced differences before diving into this one. But with this understanding that coaching is not regulated and not subject to all these different requirements, you can get really creative with the type of coaching that you offer. You really like working with business professionals, and you're going to teach business professionals how to speak publicly effectively. You can start a coaching program around that. You can make it online. It can span state lines. It could be via social media. It could be different groups. I mean, you could get super creative. So perhaps you can create a community, a membership site. I mean, there's so many things you can do. But think about ways in which you can create a coaching business or a coaching side hustle. I think there is a lot of untapped potential here for people to be really creative and create a side hustle. And finally, you can create a digital product. Now, again, don't click off the video. I'm not talking about something ridiculous or something super high tech, but perhaps you can create even access to a database that's on Google Drive. You could create a free download, and maybe it is just a quick how-to about coping skills. In fact, I actually have a whole list of digital product ideas for therapists. I'll leave that down below in the description. The thing you have to keep in mind, though, is your digital product has to answer a question or provide value for someone. It can't just be something you like or something that you think is helpful to you personally, but it has to be something that's of value to the people you're trying to reach. So if you want to create, let's say, for example, you want to create coping skill cheat sheets. Who's that going to help? Is that going to help people dealing with anxiety? Is that going to help people dealing with whatever it may be? You have to answer a question or provide value with your digital product. So if you're able to create some sort of product that answers a question or provides value for potential clients or people that you want to work with, and it doesn't involve face-to-face care or client work, then that is a great starting point. Again, I gave you a few examples. Maybe it's coping skills cheat sheets. Maybe it's a database of different resources that people want to find. Maybe it's a tutorial video. Again, there are a whole list linked down below in the description, but a digital product is another avenue you could explore. And that is my short list of very practical side hustles for therapists. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you learned something. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you soon.